Hey everyone, Jeremy from Kizer Knives. Today we're going to look at a wonderful little fixed blade. This is going to be the Deckhand, which is designed by Tyler Barnes. He wanted a practical work knife and he didn't have one that quite fit what his needs were, so he created this. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. First things first, we're going to go over to the tabletop and look at the specs real quick, and we'll come back here and talk about some of the key features that I enjoy about this knife and the things that stand out about it. So let's get going.
All right, let's take a closer look at the specs on the Deckhand. Starting out, this is our stonewash version. This is going to be a blade of D2, and we have a coated version here, also D2, but this will have a PVD coating, so if you want a little bit more corrosion resistance, this will offer that for you. While D2 is not a truly stainless steel, it's pretty good on the corrosion resistance. So kind of starting with our blades and working back, your blade length on these are going to be 2.94 inches. Your handle length on here is going to be about 3.4 for a total overall length of about 6.35 inches. One thing about the blade is it has a pretty good blade stock for a small EDC work blade. The blade stock on this is coming in at 0.126 inches, and you can see it is a flat grind starting about mid on the blade. And that's going to be the same on both of these versions. So pretty much both of these versions are going to be the same with the exception of the hardware and the blade color. This one's going to be coated. On your handle you have a nice, very grippy micarta. Nice touch that they did was they put black G10 liners on here. So this is going to look nice and give it a little bit more thickness in the hand. On the back here you have a lanyard hole, so if you want to attach a lanyard you are completely able to do that. I am a lanyard guy, so I always enjoy when I have that. You can see that the handle screws, there's 4 here. This is going to be T8 hardware, so real easy to disassemble for maintenance or a little bit of a deeper cleaning. One thing about the handle shape, it is a very nice handle shape. It is comfortable in the hand. You can see I have a medium-sized hand and that fits on there very nicely, leaving a little bit of room on the back. Very generous jimping. Right here, we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but that does lock in very nicely. So that is that. On that one, like I said, the black one is going to be the same as far as materials with the exception of the coating. The price on these guys is coming in at $49, so very nice sub $50 EDC work blade. You also do get a Kydex sheath, as you can see here. This has a folded over belt clip, and this is actually going to attach here, and I'll give you a demonstration later on in the video on how that's going to attach. You have a nice little drain hole here, pancake style. So this is your package. This is what you are getting. So those are the specs on the Deckhand. If there's ever any more specs that you guys want in these videos, let me know and we'll be sure to get them in the next one. So let's go jump back over and talk about some of the key features I enjoy about the Deckhand.
Now that we have the specs out of the way, let's take a closer look at the Deckhand. One of the first things that I want to talk about with this knife is the design overall, just the aesthetics of it. I think it's a beautiful work knife. It's got a lot of cues of a sailor's knife. It's very much in the breadth of a sailor's knife, but still maintains a usable everyday carry, small fixed blade aesthetic to it. So one of the things that I really enjoy about this is just nice touches. I'm a sucker for stonewash, but if you don't like stonewash, it does come in the coated blade that we showed in the specs. You have this nice micarta handle with the G10 liners. That's a really nice touch. You have a very generous sharpening choil, great jimping. So these little design aspects make this not only a nice knife to look at, but something that's going to be easy to use and very practical. So going into the practicality of use, this is a good all-around fixed blade because what it allows you to do is carry a knife that's going to be super ergonomic. So you have this very nice handle. I have a medium-sized hand, and you can see that it is on there, and there's a little bit of room on the back. And if you do have a little bit of a larger hand, I think you're going to be fine because it has a nice rounded end. You can tell it's somebody who uses their knife for work because what they did is Tyler lined up this jimping right here, and it falls right where you want your thumb to be. So as you're doing push cuts, or if you want to do a little bit of finer work, and even if you pull up, that's going to be good for putting your thumb there and really locking it in. It's aggressive to the point where it does catch your thumb very nicely, but it's not tearing it up. So overall, very well thought out on the jimping and the little design cues. One of the other things you might not notice about this knife, looking at it from the video, is it has a pretty good blade stock. So it's a nice, robust little fixed blade, but it comes to a nice thin edge with this flat grind. So it's got this mid flat grind here. So since you have the sheepsfoot blade, you can do a little bit of piercing. It's got nice draw cutting. It's got nice push cutting capabilities. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of show you this going on a kind of just doing some push cuts through a stick, and then maybe a little bit of a rocking cut through some rope here. And you can see that it's actually handling these really well. So most small fixed blades are going to be able to handle those kinds of tasks, but the deckhand is going to allow you to do it in a very reasonable, compact manner. So it's robust enough to handle those, but it's also going to look good and it's not going to break the bank. And it's very comfortable to use with this big sharpening choil, the great jimping. It's very much designed by somebody who uses their knives. So I very much appreciate the design of this knife. The other things you're going to get when you get the deckhand is you're going to get this pancake kydex sheath. What I'm going to do is kind of show you how you can clip this onto your belt. So it's got this nice loop here you can see. And so that kind of hooks over the belt. It's very easy to place on the belt and take off, which I like versus the traditional kind of through the belt loop. Those tend to be a hassle if you're taking your fixed blade on and off quite a bit. So this one's going to clip on. The other thing is if you like a tech lock, this is compatible with a large tech lock. And the other thing is this is also compatible if you want to rig it up as a neck knife. You can. It's got the two holes here. So what you would do is you would just place the paracord or whatever your cord of choice is through these loops, and you can tie it off in the back. Overall, I think this is a great little package. Um, Very much a work knife. I use a small fixed blade outside when I do my chores with my gardening. I got a large yard, so I always like to have a small fixed blade on me, and the deckhand will definitely be filling that role for me as I move forward into these summer months. So that is the deckhand. What do you guys think about it? We always appreciate your feedback. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. Does it stand out to you? As I mentioned, we do have the two versions that you saw earlier in the video. So we have the stonewash and then you have the PPD coated. So these are the deckhands. Please share your thoughts with us below. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.